Bringing the question back over that I really wish I didn't have to ask, but sort of seems like it might be a thing, which is the attempts to reform tax policy. I obviously would adore for the top 1% in this state to be paying a tax rate that's far more fair and stops more billions of dollars, as we've said, from being lost. But whenever that discussion comes up, I seem to see it being shut down, like all of those silly millionaires and billionaires, they'll just find another way to not pay taxes. And we see that every time one loophole is closed, it seems like another seems to open. So how do we find a way to ensure that this money goes where it should go, to the people?
So we had a tax policy that was in place that was a higher tax rate for those earning the most money. And in 2006, that tax rate changed and was brought down to 5.9%. What we're proposing is that we just return to what they were paying previously. And will they find ways to get around it? Potentially, yes. So we need to be adamant about that and keep, keep strong on making sure that we're all paying our fair share. But if we don't start at the very basic with just returning to where we were before the tax code changed, then it's going to be much more challenging for us to address those infrastructure needs that we need. So it's a starting point.
And I think one of the ways that we close some of the loopholes is to create accountability in the Statehouse. So voting in a majority of candidates who are held accountable to the people that they made promises to and issued policies to and had conversations to and that donated to our campaigns, and that are not held to or being held to corporations in the fossil fuel industry and the other things that motivate people to create loopholes for their friends in boardrooms, right? So that's one of the ways that you hold them accountable and you close loopholes is by creating a voting majority of people with integrity that care about their communities.
That sounds great.
Add to that, not only being responsive to lobbyists and corporations, but responsive to leadership. If the majority of your funding is coming from Democratic leadership, then you are somewhat beholden to them to vote in a manner that is going to keep you in their good graces. So that's important as well, to look at where their money is coming from. And it's not, like I said, it's not just corporations and lobbyists, but it's leadership.